Season 56, War number 9. Today we've matched up against Next. The bands are Ghost, Kushala, Onslaught, Werewolf, and Corvus. And my team today is Purgatory, Photon, and Vox. This is actually my first war playing on my brand new phone, so I was a little bit worried because it took me a little bit of time to adjust to the special button being positioned a little bit differently, so that when I might go for a special intercept, sometimes my thumb would miss in practice on some of the first fights in this new phone. But I eventually got enough confidence where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to take my war fights. I think I will be adjusted enough to be able to handle this. And we're going to start today on Path 1 against this Black Panther Civil War on Node 1. I'm taking this with Purgatory because I need to ramp a skill soul on this map. I didn't plan this war. I usually plan wars, but not on the ones that occur on Sunday. So I told them that I would need a skill soul for Thanos because that's one thing I did know about. And I suppose this was the easiest path fight to ramp the skill soul on. I did not check the paths to see what path I should call for myself, but yeah, this is the one I was given, and I was like, yeah, I mean, this is probably fine. Earlier in the fight, the regen was a bit of a problem, but now we have 6 neutralize, and they're only going to go up from there, so we're just going to continue to keep the regen under control as much as possible. Right now he only has 2. I'm going to let some of them fall off, but we have 8 neutralizes at this point, so he's not really getting any more of them. He's also stuck at 2 there, but then he finally falls off. And he wouldn't drop a special attack, and so eventually I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to drop my own. And he still is a little bit stingy with it, but at this point the fight's basically almost over. I was a little scared there that I would get caught by a special attack, and you notice I'm going for a lot of intercepts in this fight, which is also very risky, because if he doesn't play into them and just walk up light attacks me like the AI constantly does, I might die. But I guess it was kind of a risk I was willing to take. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have intercepted as much as I did, but it worked out, so yeah, we just move on. Now we're going to fight this Ebony Maw on Node 10. You'll notice that I started with a light attack. I never do this in the war. However, I do with Photon because if you get parried, you trigger Untouchable, so it's basically 100% safe. The only way this goes bad is if they start with a light attack as well, so theirs counts first, which is obviously possible, but it's also an Ebony Maw, so I wasn't very concerned about it. And this fight's gonna go pretty fine. Originally I was assigned Count Nefaria. I vetoed it and went with Photon instead, even though my Photon is a rank lower, because Photon is just overall better at fighting Masochism than Count Nefaria is. Nefaria has degen resist, Photon has miscounter, so they both have good counter tools for this fight. However, when it comes to Masochism, Photon's the champ that would struggle less. Photon was designed to be a good counter to Masochism and Conflictor, and she does that exceptionally well. It was just something that the science class really needed at the time, and that's part of why it counters it so well with the Petrify, helping to deal with both regen from Masochism and power gain from Conflictor. And yeah, that's my only Photon fight this war. That's why it was really easy to veto the Nefaria into the Photon, because it was only for one fight, so if I knew one was better for that one fight, then I'd just go with it. And I usually don't veto plans, especially because I think usually the planner is making the decision for a reason, right? However, considering the fact that I am a planner 2/3 of the time, I was gonna change it, and I do think it was incredibly a smart decision on my part. So it didn't really change anything. So now we're gonna fight this Venom on Node 21. This is pretty much a joke of a fight with Purgatory, with just how much damage she does. The only thing we need to worry about is encroaching stun, and the fight goes down in I think 32 seconds. And yeah, that's just Purgatory of his most cosmics. She gets so much additional damage from the attack tactic. You do so much burst when you're unblockable, and it's really nice. So now we're gonna fight this Penny Parker with Vox. This is also Vox's only fight, so technically I could have taken any cosmic to fight this Penny. However, Vox is just I mean, I think Vox is like one of the most underrated cosmics in the game. He's good for every single game mode except for BGs, and I still run him in BGs because oftentimes he is good for certain metas. When other generic cosmics are worse, Vox is usually better. And yeah, he's basically the perfect penny counter because you drop a special one, and as long as you know what you're doing, she's not going to auto block for the rest of the fight. So my game plan is just to alternate lights and mediums. Don't eat a special 2, because that would be pretty bad. If I alternate lights and mediums, I'm not getting any disintegration on me, and that's kind of the big thing in this fight. Penny's just not doing that much on this node. It's more or less a path splitting placement. So yeah, we just had to use Vox as my path split attacker, and he did it exceptionally well. So now we're going to fight minis. All of them are with Purgatory. We have 4 minis today. This is one of the reasons that I needed that skill soul at the beginning of the war, because we're going to use that soul to fight this Deathless Thanos. Because of the fact that the slow is passive, it's going to get around the debuff immunity node, and passive slow, you know, slow in general kind of shuts Thanos down a good bit, but when it's passive, then it's going to bypass the node that's giving him the debuff immunity as well, so it works out really well. I don't have Wags on this node because Purgatory doesn't benefit from Wags. When I take this with Chavez, I try to have Wags, but yeah, Purgatory doesn't benefit from it, which is fine because like we just need to reparry a bit, wait for him to drop drop a heavy attack, and that's kind of my opening. Also, when Thanos has the Energize, which is mainly at the beginning of the fight, because eventually it's going to be under control, he is reaching specials faster, and if he reaches specials faster, specifically for the special 1, it's just giving me more openings, because I don't think you can counter Thanos' special 2, but the special 1 is really easy to do so, and that's kind of your opening in this fight. Drop a special 2 into protection, which is fine. The noted protection was also coming back, so it didn't really make that big a difference. And then this next combo into Relic finishes him off. Slow was about to expire, but so was Thanos' Outbar, so that was a pretty easy fight. Then we move on to node 40 Korg. Taken this fight before. This one goes much better than the other one. I think the other time I did this, I did not use a PS1 boost, and the PS1 boost makes a massive difference in this fight, because you only need to get to 1 bar of power to kind of shut the node off, rather than 2 bars without the PS1. And considering Purgatory gains power relatively slow at the start of the fight, it does make a massive difference. So we are going to drop the special 2 here. Once the degen expires, then we're going to have a slow. And again, the slow is passive, so Korg can't actually purify it. So now I can hit him as freely as I want to. Purgatory's attacks are all energy based, so there is no Korg thorns to deal with. I do not want to parry in this fight because I don't want to eventually get the Soul Barb charge on me. Purgatory's only way of gaining a buff is via the Fury from her special attacks, but the Soul Barb node is also very potent, so I ideally just never want to get it on me, even with only 1 buff. And also Dexterity could happen at some point, so just don't get the Soul Barb on you, take the block damage instead, and yeah, it's not that bad. That Korg went down in a decent time. We're gonna fight this Gladiator on node 43 next. Cosmics on this node really all get run over by Purgatory. She can even do Serpent on this node, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's a Cosmic that you can place that Purgatory isn't going to run over on this node. The Neutralize isn't going to do anything against Gladiator because his buffs all have extra ability accuracy, but he's going to die so fast that that's going to be pretty much irrelevant. You saw me counter his special 1 there even when he was unstoppable. Gladiator takes a little bit of time to actually recover from his special attack, so I can hit him right after the final hit and he can't react fast enough, assuming I timed it correctly, to actually counter me. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to get the unblockable from the tactic on me and not on him. So, I mean, I guess it was risky that I mistimed it, but I did time it right the one time I had to do it. So, that's just a little bit of a cheat code if you want to do that, so that your gladiator does not get the unblockable. Because if you time it correctly, you can hit him freely, because he takes a little bit of extra time to recover from his special. So now we're fighting Adam Warlock on node 46. Normally I'd be fighting Serpents here, and don't get me wrong, Purgatory would also be taking Serpent if he was here. But we're fighting Adam Warlock today because they place Serpent on node 25, which is not a fight that Purgatory can take, which is probably a good placement if you're leaving Purgatory and Mojo open. Getting Serpent on 25 is definitely a smart move by next, but on the other side of the coin, Adam Warlock isn't really going to do anything here with Purgatory open either, and that just kind of goes to show that Purgatory is going to run over most defenders who are on 47 this meta, assuming they're Cosmic, because she's just that busted, this tactic. So we run an invul boost literally just for this purpose of Adam going to special 3, because I knew it was going to happen some point in the fight. That's why we boost properly. And we tank it. He goes down with us not facing any punishment of it, and that is my my war 8. We did win the war, 16-11. GG's to next. Yeah, this was a really good performance from our alliance. My battle group actually did struggle quite a bit, but our other two did carry us very well, and one of our BGs had a deathless war, so very proud of them. And I hope my BG can get a deathless war too soon, because we are playing very well, but we have not reached 1 yet. But we have 3 wars left to do it, and I'm confident we will find the opportunity at one point. But this was a really big war for us. After winning this one, we are placed at 11th on the leaderboard, and we also have not gotten rating from War 1 yet. So that's going to put us even higher. So I'm feeling really good with how we're performing this season. We've had a past couple seasons that have not gone our way, but this one, everything is lining up very well, and I'm proud of my guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next video.